Tomorrow marks 4 weeks since the mass shooting in Uvalde that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Tonight, that investigation took another significant turn.
We're getting our first look inside Robb Elementary moments after the gunman arrived. This surveillance image was obtained exclusively by senior reporter Tony Plohetski from our Austin station KVUE and the Austin American-Statesman. Now, to be fair, it is only one angle capturing a single moment in time.
But it does give us a closer look at how police responded, something that's come under a lot of scrutiny. So let's bring in Tony Plohetski from KVUE and Austin.
Tony, that picture is our first look inside the school on May 24th. Very significant for this investigation.
Well, it is. It is the first time after hearing about the tragedy inside that school for weeks now that we are finally able to see it for ourselves. And I think that it's so striking that the hallway looks like a typical elementary school hallway, and to know that just inside one of those classrooms there that so much bloodshed had occurred and was occurring. Again, this image was taken at 11:52 in the morning. And it's striking as well because you can see that one police officer has a high-powered weapon there on the left side of the photo. But in addition to that, on the lower toward the right-hand side, you can see that a second officer had a ballistic shield. And it's striking to also note that they are not the only 2 officers there at the scene. I was able to watch a portion of this security video from the hallway of that school, and there were in fact several officers who had gathered there again at 11:52. That was about 19 minutes after the gunman first entered the school, but it was 58 minutes from the time that we know that law enforcement ultimately breached the door and made an entry into that classroom.
And Tony, I understand you also got to look at some of the officers' body camera video. What does it show?
One of the things that's striking as well is that investigators have been able to create transcripts from what Uvalde School's police chief, Pete Arredondo, was saying as all of this was unfolding. And it's striking to me that we're learning for the first time that he did, in fact, have the idea about a half hour before officers made entry of potentially neutralizing, as police call it, taking down the gunman through a window. But we know that that did not happen. And again, a significant amount of time passed before officers ultimately breached the door of that classroom.
Real quickly, how hard was it for you to get access to these pictures, Tony?
Look, it was not particularly easy. Investigators are keeping this information very close to the vest, very, very much confidential. But at the same time, clearly there are people inside this investigation and around the periphery of this investigation who believe that the public has a right to know what happened that awful day, and that the parents of these 19 children have a right to know what happened that day.
Our thanks to you, Tony.
Thank you.